Today we have a woman who filed a child support case in family court for her 6-year-old son. Her baby daddy didn't show up to court. Why? Well, you'll see here for yourself. Take a second to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and click the notification bell for all updates. Won't waste any time. Let's go ahead and jump into it.
All right, the court's going to find that Mr. Jackson received notice of this hearing on October 31st of 2022. That notice was sent to the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. He's not here. You can go forward and call your first witness.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Based on the admission into evidence of State Exhibit A, the court's going to find that Mr. Tristan Jackson is the biological father of the child Kyson, and I'm now going to name him as the legal father.
Thank you, Your Honor. Do you have any estimate of how many number of times that would be in Kyson's, for Kyson to get to know him? Is Kyson kind of a shy child, or is he outgoing?
Miss,
Well, he's not
why would we address the issue of visitation on somebody that's probably not going to get out of TDCJ for the next 5 to 8 years?
Yeah.
Well, we can reserve that issue. That's fine.
I mean, I just don't see any reason why we need to discuss the issue, since it doesn't look like, according to information from their website, he's going to be out for at least 5 to 8 years.
Honestly, I don't even understand why this case is even being looked at, considering that the father is in prison.
So go ahead.
No, that's fine. I'll reserve it.
Ms. Hawkins, I've just placed on the screen a copy of the information, inmate information details report from TDCJ. Is it okay if I look at this information?
Oh, yes, sir. I'm not really worried about it, but you can.
State's Exhibit B is admitted into evidence.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, how is Kyson currently covered for insurance?
He receives Medicaid.
Okay. And you said that Mr. Jackson has been in and out of jail since how often in the last 4 years has Mr. Jackson been incarcerated?
He's been incarcerated. When I first got pregnant with Kyson back 6 years ago, he got out when Kyson was 3. So he was in there till Kyson was born, till he was 3. And he got out for, I believe, a year. So 6 months to a year, I'm really not sure. And then it's like he went back in within a few months.
Okay. Looks like he might have gone back in there in April of 2019, according to the TCJ records.
Is that a question, Ms. Overstreet?
I think I was thinking out loud, Judge. I'm trying to count back 4 years.
Refrain from thinking out loud and direct questions at your witness.
Okay, thank you, Judge. Are you asking for any kind of back child support for the small amount of time that he was not incarcerated in the last 4 years?
No, ma'am.
Okay, all right.
You know what I never understand about these folks is they won't stop having kids. Even after she made the decision to get pregnant by a guy that's been in and out of jail, she's low income, getting assistance. You would think that she would get her life together, get in a stable relationship before she decided to have another child. But no, she's still pushing out kids.
Thank you, ma'am. I have nothing further, Your Honor.
Need to call your next witness.
I have no other witnesses.
Hey, Ms. Hawkins, do you
Yes,
have
sir.
any questions or comments about this case before I make a ruling?
No, not really.
Okay. I promise this is going to be a pretty simple ruling, Miss Hawkins, because it really looks like he's going to be in the penitentiary for a while. Okay.
Yes, sir. And I just wanted, that proof for him, because he really has been resenting Kyson, for so long. He's been resenting Kyson for so long.
Right.
And he has his proof now. I really don't want anything from him because he's a violent person,
Ma'am, he was a violent person before you met him. So why do you choose him to have a baby with? And why did you file a child support case just to take a DNA test? You could have taken a DNA test outside of court. You know why she did it? She didn't want to pay for it, and she wanted to pass the cost on to somebody else, because there's no way that he's going to be able to pay court costs and he's in prison. So that's one of many reasons why she's here right now.
So,
right. Well, we're not going to get anything from him because he's in TDC, and I can't order people that are in the penitentiary to pay child support.
yes, sir. I wasn't worried.
The court's going to find the court has jurisdiction. The court's going to find, based on the testimony of Ms. Hawkins, It is not in the child's best interest to name the parties as joint managed conservators. I'm going to name Miss Hawkins as the sole managed conservator, Kyson. Mr. Jackson will be a possessory conservator. I'm going to reserve the issue of visitation. That'll be addressed upon the release of Mr. Jackson from GDCJ. I'm going to order Miss Hawkins to maintain the current health insurance that she has on the child. Mr. Jackson is confirmed to be in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. He's going to be there for at least the next 180 days. Therefore, child support in this case will be zero. Medical support in this case will be zero. Any request for retroactive child support in this case is denied. Mr. Jackson has effectively been in jail since right around the time this child was born. A very short window of time that after Kyson was born that he wasn't, but no retro child support. Court costs will be paid by Mr. Jackson, but I'll give him until May 31st of 2023 to pay my court costs. Ms. Overstreet, does that take care of all the issues before me today?
What about geographic restriction? Yes or no?
No.
Okay.
No. I mean, this child's sick. Yeah, this child's 6. He's in Huntsville. I'm not going to restrict her where she lives.
Okay. I just needed a ruling.
No, you're right. And I have it written down. I just forgot to enunciate it.
So the mother wasn't granted child support here because the father is in prison. The judge didn't order him to pay any child support or medical support, but one thing that was established was paternity, and the Attorney General's office paid for that test. The judge did order the father to pay court costs, so that bill will still be waiting for him whenever he's released. He'll also have the Attorney General sending him a bill for that paternity test, which is what the mother was really interested in here in the short term because the father was denying the child was his. Her solution for that was to call down to child support court, and guess who's really footing the bill for all of this? Taxpayers are basically paying for paternity tests for these baby mamas and pookie baby daddies, no different from the child's Medicaid, her health care, housing, food, and other assistance that she's receiving. This is how she's able to continue to have these kids out of wedlock. Now, her baby daddy has been a problem for a while. He's 27 years old now in the state. He's currently locked up for an incident that happened in 2019.
Crime alert. Prosecutors and defense attorneys are trying to agree on a jury to hear a Beaumont murder case. Prosecutors say Tristan Jackson shot and killed 43-year-old Daryl Howard early on Easter morning back in 2019. That shooting near the intersection of Concord and Delaware. Jackson reportedly confessed to police after they arrested him. A second suspect was later released without facing charges.
Back on Easter in 2019 early morning, Daryl Howard, an innocent man, lost his life just after 2 a.m. in the parking lot of a lounge. Tristan Jackson was in the same location getting food. He told investigators that he opened fire because he saw a man that he had ongoing issues with. He told them that Daryl was not the target. Daryl Howard was rushed to the hospital where he underwent emergency surgery, but he did not survive. Unfortunately, Daryl left behind his wife and his kids. Tristan was first charged with murder, but he accepted a plea deal for a lesser charge and was instead convicted of manslaughter and sentenced to 15 years in prison. He's been in prison for almost 4 years now, and his expected release is set for a date in 2025, according to the Texas Department of Corrections. Even before this incident though, Tristan had other incidents, so the mother's statement in court saying that they knew he was violent, that's where this is coming from. And I'm saying he's been this way for years, even before she had a baby by him. But not only did she choose to have a baby by a man that was not her husband, look at the type of man that she chose to do it with. They love saying it's none of our business, or women want to have fun and date who they like. Well, it is our business because they make these decisions and have these kids that all of us are having to pay for. And then they grow up and become a nuisance to the community, so we end up paying multiple times over. Why do these women lay up with these men and then try to hold everyone else accountable except for themselves? Special thank you to Thaddeus. I appreciate you, Thaddeus, for all of your support, as well as our sister Tanette. Thank you, Tanette. Judah's Lion and Dark Power always showing support, as well as Oleinka. Don't forget that you can support this channel as well. Links to Cash App and PayPal are below. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to like and share.